Bharat Biotech has successfully developed Covaxin, India's first vaccine candidate for COVID-19, in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Institute of Virology. The SARS-CoV-2 strain was isolated and transferred to Bharat Biotech, and they've been working on it now very closely. This gives a lot of us a great deal of hope in this country and internationally as well on yet another effort and a major, credible effort by an excellent company at trying to make a difference and trying to save lives. A great guest with us this evening, Dr. Krishna Ella, Chairman and MD of Bharat Biotech. Thanks, sir, very much for being with us. A couple of basic questions. How soon before you're able to start human trials on Covaxin?
I think, we got most of the clearances coming through, like ethical committees from various medical colleges are coming through. And I think probably in 10 days, we should be able to start the trial to the volunteers.
And how extensive will this trial be?
We're going to about 1,200 people, phase 1 and 2 combined clinical trial. And so we'll be doing that as per the international guidelines.
And just share with us what those guidelines are. How do you select those who are part of the trial?
So the first criteria of inclusion criteria, they have to be COVID-free person, volunteer. You should be tested for RT-PCR, that they are seronegative for that. Because we don't want somebody positive, and if you give a vaccine, it boosts so much, and it artificially looks like a vaccine is working very well. But that is not the case. So we want 100% free from COVID infection. That's important. And second is, we are up to age, we are going up to 65, no children, no pregnant ladies, all will be recruited in that case. Yeah. But it's a general procedure of inclusion and exclusion criteria.
Yeah. Dr. Krishna Ella, what are the key parameters you will consider to judge whether your vaccine has been a success?
We have preliminary indication from animals. So we do, when you're doing animal, we also do 3 different animals. We check it, the neutralization assay, like humans. We also test the, vaccinate the animals, check the safety, and also how much antibody it is producing. And those antibody, does it protect the multiplication of the virus or not? That we call as micro-neutralization assay. So you should not allow virus to multiply. So we have done all those studies. So it's not that we are jumping into bandwagon without knowing a lot of science. We have done a lot of science. And we have tremendous expertise in developing a lot of new vaccines like Zika, chikungunya, typhoid conjugate, those sort of new vaccines. So we have pretty good knowledge on this aspect of it.
Dr. Ella, how have the results from your preliminary trials been? How have they been successful? On what grounds have they been successful?
Thanks to National Institute of Virology, Pune, we also inject into animals. We send the samples to NIV Pune. They also check the different parameters of the required for a vaccine efficacy. So they also test it, including electron micrograph. So we also see this is heat killed. It's a killed vaccine actually. When you have a heat killed vaccine, not heat, chemically inactivated vaccine.
Yes.
It's a killed vaccine.
Yes.
So we check, it produces an electron microscope in NIV Pune. It's producing exactly like a normal virus. It looks like same. And that's very important for us, like a spike produced outside. So it's mimicking the virus. Although it is chemically killed, but it is mimicking the live virus.
Yeah. And finally, tell us a little bit about the vaccine itself. Is it based on a vaccine already developed? We've read about efforts in, for example, Oxford and the strategy that they are pursuing. What is the strategy that you're pursuing in terms of the vaccine itself?
Yeah, I think Oxford has got a good strategies because the UK government has given a permission to the Oxford from R&D directly into the human clinical trial. So they allowed both animal toxicology and human clinical trial both parallelly go. And that is not the case in India. Unless we complete animal studies, we are not allowed to get into the human clinical trial. So that we lost time of 3 months. So that is a 1-year difference. The second is UK is a vector-based vaccine. That is chimpanzee vaccine. And the chimpanzee-based vaccine never made it to the market yet so far from using the same platform. Whereas our platform of NIV partnership is basically a killed vaccine. Many killed vaccines are available in the country, globally. Even Chinese have done the inactivated vaccine, which they published in Science, which is actually 6 companies in China are all producing inactivated killed vaccines. So that clearly shows that inactivated killed vaccine showing better results right now. And we also have 3 other different platforms. We also have Coroflu and also rabies platform, 3 different vaccines. But the one what we announced today is basically the NIV and ICMR partnership, truly make in India, and done R&D virus isolated from NIV, multiplied, produced at Bharat Biotech under GMP condition, and made 3 consistency batches. We've done all studies, because the reason why I'm saying we are producing a vaccine to supplying to 120 countries.
Right.
Indian vaccine manufacturers has got a better history than a Chinese or Korean companies. So we are well established players in vaccine field in the world.
Yeah.
And we are producing almost 16 vaccines. In that, 6 vaccines are inactivated vaccines.
Right.
So we have good knowledge of background of this.
Well, Doctor, one last question to you. This time next year, will you have been part of a team that defeats COVID? And by that I mean the actual distribution of your vaccines, not just in India, but around the world.
I mean, we will be completed by next year. But in India, it all depends on the regulatory agencies. If our phase 1, 2 is good, how the regulators are going to react to the situations, it depends on the government, not by us. So I can't commit any timeline. It all depends on the government, not by us. And that's number 1. Number 2, will it be a global? Yes. Chinese may be taking advantage of the 4 months ahead of the game in getting into other part of the world, but we will catch up soon. Indian manufacturers are also smart. We'll catch up.
No doubt about this, sir. And you know, at a time when we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, I can't think of a more important area than self-sufficiency in medicine and what you are doing. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.